Hello, Lich Place, there's a read here, and welcome back to Scorn. Well, kind of. Welcome back to my synopsis of Scorn, my review, if you will, my understandings, and even my explanation of Scorn. Because, how do I say this? The ending to the game left me in a state of amaze and shock, because I didn't know really what happened. I didn't really know how else to say that ended. I really wish I could say, but I don't. The ending to this game was so benign and unfamiliar to me. I really didn't know what to really say except for, well, that was the ending. And have a great day. I really didn't know where else to leave off with that. So as I started looking into the game itself, I realized something absolutely amazing. There isn't a direct answer to the ending of the game. There really isn't. What happens at the end of the game, where you and the mutant creation that happens at the very beginning of the game, at the end of Act 1, who I have referred to as Backpack, and whom I will continue to refer to as Backpack, because he, connects himself onto you like a backpack. Simplified thinking, I know. Where you and Backpack kind of merge into this massive mutated thing. This living thing, somehow siphoning and living off of each other. That ending is so odd, so crazy, that the more I did research on it, the more I realized there wasn't a direct answer. But at the same time, there also wasn't a direct answer for the entirety of the story either. So I realized, oh my god, this game is amazing. Not because of its level of detail, not because of its specific design or its style or whatever, but literally just because of the fact that not a single word was said, and we all got to experience the same level of storytelling. And we all came out with a different story at the end of the day. And I absolutely love that. I freaking do. It's an amazing game. And I can't wait to talk to you about the world and my idea of Scorn. To start off our conversation, we literally start off with the realization that our world is dying. The world that this civilization once lived in is barely surviving. The few people that have somehow been birthed, been created, that have somehow escaped their cocoon-like eggs and have been brought into this world, right off the bat, you can immediately tell that no one's surviving. There's no plant life. The organic life that is somehow here, God only knows how long it's going to live before they too perish in a dead and dying world. The first character we play as just so happens to be Backpack. He sees this wonderful vision of some white monolithic tower that he's trying to get to before he falls through the cracks of the world and almost dies. And as he traverses his way through the building, the structure, the environment that his entire civilization is built, the technology that they've used for so long malfunctions, causing him to be mutated into the world he built. And it's horrifying. It's scary knowing that we've gotten to this point where we've developed such powerful technology, but it came at such a cost. That cost being our own civilization, our own world. And I mean, like, hell. There's no reason why the cost was so great that it cost us everything. Everything. It got to the point that we started using our own species, our own blood. We started birthing children just to use them as a form of fuel. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised about any of this going to shit. We literally woke up in a world of flesh, blood, and bone. And we tried manipulating it to create devices and machinery and tools, but it led up to such a grand factoring price of our own existence. It got to the point where we had to start paying the toll in blood. And even then, we started realizing we had so much blood to spend and so little to be able to actually spend it on. We've created evolution, but the cost was our own evolution. And that's horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. And the more the price kept paying, the more we kept paying the price, the more we kept sacrificing, the more we were driving our species extinct. The more we realized that there's only one way to fix this. A, stop everything and work on rebuilding, or B, leave. And I almost feel as if that's what that weird, obscene portal, that exit was at the very ending of the game, with the statues slowly being pulled towards, not even pulled, as if their flesh was being ripped off towards that portal. I don't want to say that that's a guaranteed portal or escape or anything of that sort. I don't know. To me, that was a portal. To me, that was an escape. That was an escape from the consequences of our actions. The consequences of sacrificing our own species to better evolve. That, to me, is what that was. The main character was born in Act 2, literally created in Act 2, and they traversed through everything. They dug themselves deeper and deeper into this world until this world took them back and used them for a form of recreation. Backpack literally stole the purpose, the will, the body of the main character from Act 2 and merged itself into him, causing him to, I don't even know what you want to say, act as atonement, act as punishment even. Backpack literally reformed both its own body and the main character's body to create, in my opinion, what viewed to be a new heart. Because I will admit, it did look a bit of like a heart. It created to me, what I believed was a heart, a physical, new, living creature, pumping blood, living off of itself, almost as a testament to say, this is how we're going to survive. This is how we're going to rebuild. This is how we're going to do anything in a dying world. In a world that its own creators abused, corrupted, and abandoned. And that I find beautiful. And something else I love about this game is just the absolute beautiful, eerie scenery. We go from literally a desert wasteland to an environment where the skin is growing off the walls. Everything is overgrown and slowly decaying. We go from dilapidated destruction to, I don't even know what you want to say. We go from dilapidated destruction to, I want to say, an overgrown infestation. This game does its environment justice, absolutely. We go from an environment like this to an environment like this, where an infestation is not only growing, it's thriving. It is living off the literal corpse of the planet that we have left. It's thriving off the corpses of the people we sacrificed to get to this part, to this point in evolution, in technology, in survival. We left it in a state of disarray, for the only thing that could survive off it is creatures that survive off of death itself. I mean, hell, we left it in the hands of creatures that survive off death so long that it created its own brood mother. Think about that! We left it to rot and deprave and decay and destroy to the point that the only thing that can live here is the fungus that would grow off of our corpses. The rot. That is horrifying. And the fact that we would go from such eerie scenery to such disgusting scenery to such gory scenery to such amazingly gory scenery. The design of this creature is horrifyingly disgusting. And it's disturbing because it's so unnaturally realistic. Because it's just skin. It's just flesh. It's just an organism that grew and kept reproducing offspring just for the sake of survival. Just like the way of anything, really. We could go from something as horrifying as this to something as beautiful as this. Like, really, this game does an amazing job at consistently making you wonder how the hell is this world like this. This game does an amazing job at building the environment without saying a single fucking word. We go from incredible structure to dilapidation to death to depravity to an infestation to rot. It's amazing. And I love that about this game. We are a civilization, a species that built our way up to the top, practically to the heavens. And we tried to find our Garden of Eden, but the price of that was near extinction. And the only way to get out of this was to just leave. In which most of us did. But this world is still fucked. Anything that gets birthed out knows, I can't live here, I need to leave. Because anything that can live here is going to live off of death. Like the spores and the little plant motherfuckers down there. And anything that has survived has started to learn that it can live off of death. Like Backpack! I tried writing a script for this video. I wish I was joking. I tried writing a script for this video. And halfway through the script, when I got to Backpack section, I realized I didn't know how I wanted to write in Backpack, because I realized right then and there, Backpack is one of two different ideas when it comes to the creature itself. Number one, when he died, when Backpack got mutated into the horrifying creature that it is, when the main poster of the fucking game, when the character of the main menu gets introduced to the game, and I had to figure out what I wanted to say about him, I couldn't figure it out because I only had two ways to say it. Either he was a creature that knew how badly we fucked up this place. So when he found us, he said, we're not going to be the last ones to leave this place. We're going to act as a form of atonement. We fucked this place up. We got to say we're sorry. We got to stay. It's our time to go extinct, to extinguish the flame. Either A was that. He knew that we fucked up and he knew we need to atone for that. Or there was B. That when Backpack woke up, God knows only when that happened. Potentially in Act 2, potentially long before the sequence of events was that our main character was born. That when Backpack woke up, he was so destroyed, so dilapidated, so mutated that he was no longer the creature he once was when we played as him in Act 1. He was no longer a person trying to leave. He was just a monster roaming the lands, searching for another creature to take host of, to survive off of, just like the parasitic infestation in Act 3 and in Act 4. Literally, Backpack takes a hold of us and starts tearing himself into our organs. He holds our things for us, hilariously. He acts as an attachment to us for most of the game, slowly infesting himself inside of us. The closer we got to our final goal, the more he tended to resist. Either this was a creature that either A, knew what it was doing, trying to stop us, to pay the toll, to pay the price, to finally say it's time to die, or he was a creature just trying to do the one thing that everything tries to do, survive. And how does it survive? Simple. Thriving off of other beings. Just like the infestation in Act 3 and Act 4. The only thing it could do was survive off of anything living, or what was remaining off of anything living. Because that's the world it was mutated and forced to survive and adapt into. And that is good storytelling. I don't know the answer. I don't know if Backpack knew what he was doing, or I don't know if Backpack was just a monster, a creature trying to survive. And I love that. This game does an amazing job, an absolutely gorgeous job of consistently making me guess, well, was it this? Was it that? And the best part is I'll never know the answer. It's my idea. It's my concept of the game. And that's lovely. This game was one single story, Act 1 through 5, with puzzles, a combat system, and a gorgeously grotesque world. And it consistently has everyone saying, well, I think it was this. No, you're wrong. It had to have been this. Clearly, y'all don't understand the consequences of our actions in this world. People have found different stories in this. One person believed that this was a story of how, or an artistic retelling of the pain of abortion. Someone believed that this was the artistic retelling of childbirth and how complications can lead to both the death of a mother and the death of the child themselves. Some people just believe that this was an alien species that died off. I'm kind of one of those people. Some people believe that we were humans that adapted into becoming these creatures. And of course, we tried evolving into something else, but it became too much. And the best part is no one knows the answer. We know that things happen in this world. We know what the sequence of events of the story are. But the best part is we all come to a different conclusion on the ending, on the beginning, on the in-between process. We destroyed ourselves so much that you either A, died here, B, became one of the hive mind for the parasites, or up here at the very end, at the fate of that weird doctor thingamajig, or B, or C, sorry, you left. You left. You either somehow survived and left, or you died. And you died in a very painful and gruesome way, or you just died. We woke up in a dying world, and we're either going to die or leave a dying world. Regardless of our creation, regardless of the work, regardless of the sacrifice, regardless of how many children were born just to be used as a fuel source, just to be turned into a corpse to be disposed of later, regardless of how horrible the actions were to take to get to this point, none of it mattered. None of it mattered. And that is amazing. It did so much work, and it didn't even utter a single word. And honestly, I just want to say this. I myself did not know the definition of what scorn meant. It wasn't until I had to look up I was trying to make the script for this video that I had to actually look it up and realize, holy crap, this game is fucking genius. Because the definition of scorn, because I have it pulled up, is, and I quote, the feeling or belief that something or someone is worthless or despicable. Contempt. It is literally what I believe the ending of this game was. That the whole story of this game was. Regardless of our success, the sacrifice, the build, the price, it was all going to end up for nothing. That it was worthless. That regardless of how we looked upon other lives, that they were lesser, they're all going to die at one point. Be it because of some great beyond, or be it because of some horrifyingly fungal-like growth slowly consuming everything. In the end of the day, everything was worthless. And the instant we had the slightest chance to make up for it, the instant we had the slightest chance to atone, to pay the price, to do anything, just say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, it got taken away from us. And used, and manipulated, and destroyed. Just like we did to this world. Our purpose is worthlessness. We were born on a dying planet, and we died on a dying planet. And I honestly believe that is all I wanted to say. Yeah, that's all I got to say. That's my synopsis of Scorn. An amazing game that doesn't say a single word and yet tells 1,000 different stories. I love this game. It's amazing. I wouldn't say it's my favorite game. I like the design. I love the storytelling. It's only 5 acts, too. It really is just like a couple hours long, which is so weird. I thought with how much detail is put into this game, I thought it was going to take so much longer. But no, unfortunately, it's not. In all honesty, I have to say, the only thing I want to have been better, and is honestly the major disappointment about this game, is the fact that the combat system is so shoddy. I wouldn't even say the combat system is horrible. It's just so weird. The combat system in this game really is that the enemies are accurate, easy to miss, but they are hard to miss when they attempt to attack you. It's very hard to survive in this game. And I'll admit, I do like the fact that there are other options than what happens in this game. Than what this game implies to. Because it gives you a gun expecting you to say, hey, you do realize you can shoot things, right? But it also doesn't explicitly tell you, oh, by the way, don't forget, you don't have to shoot things. Yeah, you don't have to. You could just, what's the word? Run away. Hide. You don't have to kill what's in front of you to survive. You don't have to do anything. You just need to make your way forward in your worthless life. God, I love it. Combat could have been a lot better. Story was great. The message, be it however you look at it, is always an amazing thing to think about. Primarily just because there's no correct answer, there's no right answer, and also, it's different for everyone. God, it's great. It's a great game. A game all about one incredible message. Life, death, rebirth, it's all pointless. No matter how much message, no matter how much worth you give it, it'll all end up the same way. Life, death, rebirth. I'd definitely say this game's a solid 8.5 out of 10. I hate saying that, but it's shorter than I thought it was going to be, and the combat really does make it clunky. That baby boss fight annoyed the hell out of me. It really did. Also, this game does not say anything. It does not point you in the right direction. So if you're off on the wrong idea, like I was on multiple escapades, you won't find out until you take a step back and say, okay, let's go back to where we were and let's just not power through this. Let's think about this like a sane person would. The puzzles were not straightforward, so they actively, consistently kept thinking about lateral thinking, causing you to say to yourself, how do I do this? Because I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, great game. Great game. The fact that it doesn't say anything adds on to the storytelling, does not add on to the objective, because you really don't know what you're doing half the time. You really don't know what you're doing half the time. It's a straightforward game, but the instant it doesn't become straightforward and you have to start thinking about, okay, how do I solve this puzzle, because I'm not that great at puzzles. That's when you start thinking, oh god, I might be here a while. Combat's a bit out there, and puzzles were fun, but some of them got annoying. And the instant they started playing out mechanics that involved health and bullets, I honestly started to depreciate how much I enjoyed this game. Because this game will do serious damage to you, and it will not give you health back as often as it should. I feel like the damage you receive from enemies should be nerfed. But that's just me. That's just me personally. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about this. I think that's everything on the script. I even went really off script on this last segment here. So yeah, I believe that is all for this time. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I hope you guys enjoyed my series of Scorn. And please, honestly, if you have a different thought process, or if you had a different idea of what happened in this world, or your idea of the rendition of this story, please tell me. I would love to hear more about this game. I would love to hear other people's thoughts on this game. Because honestly, my idea of this game is amazing. And I would love to hear how other people interpreted this. Because this really is a game of one story that led to thousands of people telling it differently. This is Scorn. So yes, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more, and I'll see you, Legend players, in next video. Bye-bye!